Hello everyone and welcome back to another Draw Steel video. Today I'm going to do my session prep. Now that sounds very lazy, but that's because it is. I've got a session in half an hour and I need to get it prepped. I've done nothing. It's been a long week and I've had zero time to prep for Draw Steel. So today I figured, well, why not make a video out of this process? I'm not going to edit it. In fact, in just a second here, I'm going to start a timer. And you will get to see how long it takes me to prep the minimum viable product for a Draw Steel session, at least for my game this week. This might not fit with your style of directing, might not fit with my style next week, but for this session, I think it should be fine. All right, let's jump in it. All right, I did cut there just to get to my main page, but I'm going to start the countdown or the count up timer, and we're going to see how long it takes. Hopefully I get it done in half an hour. So, where we left off, my heroes had just been attacked by a whole bunch of demons who were going after an item in an exotic redwood box that a member of my party has been holding for an entire echelon. The party is level 4. I called that Pandora's Box, that encounter. It was in a village square, there were a whole bunch of civilians around, and things got messy. I suspect that there is not going to be any combat in this next session, but that wouldn't be very fun to prep. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prep an encounter. I'm going to use Stall. Stall is an awesome web app that's got all sorts of tools that I can use. And we're going to go ahead and put in the number of heroes that I'm expecting. I've got a party of 6 this week. I don't really care any of this. I just want it clear for Stall. And we'll call this Demons on the Loose, I guess. I don't know. The demons are going to attack the next time the box gets opened. If the heroes don't find a way to hide the item that was in this box, a twisted lump of star steel that they are desirous of, then the demons will attack soon. If not, then the heroes will get a bit of a reprieve. But there's going to be more demons, so I might as well prep an encounter. Encounter value, no, we want to sort by demons. And I want to set this from demons levels 3 to 6. And we'll make it 4 to 6. The party's level 4. We have 6 members. I don't really care about using the traditional encounter building rules. I tend to like just the quick building rules. There's not really a way to handle that in Stall that I'm aware of. I don't see a setting in here for that, but that's okay. I can kind of just make it up on the fly, and we'll see what we can get. I'm already 2 minutes in, so I gotta hurry. I've used, let's see, what have I used? Have I used, yes, I think these are Nictins. I think this is a typo in here. These are Horde Ambushers. They're great. So the Horde things, we want essentially, how many groups? We want 7 groups. Standard encounter, so 1 more than we've got players, or, well, the party has 2 victories, so we want to go with the number of players plus 1 in this case. So a relatively easy encounter, just something to keep them on their toes. I'll have to pick a map later, but we're going to have, well, let's start with some minions. Grolkin, Orlix, and Wobolos. We've used the Grolkins, and actually, did we use the Grolkins? What did they do? Spinning Bone Blade. I don't think we used the Grolkins. We used the Orlix. No, we did not use the Orlix. We used the Wobolos and the Grolkins. That's okay. So let's go ahead and set up in... Oop, that was into the wrong one. Okay. Set active. We're going to go ahead and add some Wobolos. Just 1, and then we want to have a second one that's got Wobolos in it. And then we want another one that's got, what do the Orlix do? They are Harriers. Harriers are excellent. So let's add a squad of Orlix in one and a squad of Orlix in another. And then we can go back through and fill these out with non-minions. What? That's interesting. Okay, yeah. So that's a good start. To join the Wobolos, who are artillery, we could go with a controller. That seems like a good idea. The Gunge is a very large thing, and uses its bilious expulsion. I think that'll work well together. It'll slow things down and restrain them just in time for the Wobolos at their command to attack those same targets. For the second initiative group, also with the Wobolos, let's just do another Gunge, nice and easy. Third initiative group, the Orliks are Harriers. Let's see. Can I see there? I can't without clicking that. So let's take a look at the Orliks again. They do melee stuff, so having a creature who maybe does something ranged to pair with them might be nice. Let's again click into Horde. We have the Bale Eye, that could be interesting. Yeah, Wilting Visions, Psychic Damage, Corruption Weakness. A lot of my party has Corruption Immunity, I believe. So playing into the Bale Eye could be fun. That thing's huge, which can be a little tricky. But we could also bring in the Fanglings. Tooth, Tusk, and Claw. Pretty good. They're melee. Hormonok is a brute. The Gunge is a controller. 1 burst or 3 cube within 5. I'm kind of feeling the Bale Eye for 1. And in the other, let's do a Fangling. If we add 2, is that still within tolerance? It is. So we don't want all of these to be the same. And in fact, I think we're going to add a second Gunge to that group. Just for fun. Make it a slightly more difficult encounter. In Initiative Group 5, we're going to put in a couple of Torminoks. In Group 6, let's put in 3 Fanglings. How's our... Oh, we're solidly in the top end of the standard range. I don't mind this being a difficult encounter, so that is okay. Have we done any Nictins? We don't want to go overboard on what we've got here. So let's put in another Bale Eye. And let's do another Gunge. That seems pretty good. That bumps us up to a mid-range hard. And honestly, I think that's pretty solid. I don't hate that. So we're going to go ahead and save that next time the party runs into demons. Now, what I would probably do next is set up a map. I'm not going to choose a map. I've got a whole bunch of maps from Che and Peku that I think will be useful for me. So I don't really need to worry about it too much. I've got my initiative group set up. I run in Fantasy Grounds, so I just have to set that up in Fantasy Grounds. Easy to do. Especially now that Exodus has put in a monsters book. So that will be very easy for me to set up this encounter. I don't have to do any creating of monsters myself. But what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to just write up some stats, some general NPC ideas. The party's potentially going to Dalrath, so let's do a Dalrath section, have some notes. The party's potentially going to Exeter, and these are both for personal things, somewhat related to what's going on. They're looking for Tace the Wizard, who is the mentor of both Pinna the Hedge Mage and a member of my party. So we can probably... I don't know exactly where Tace is. Spoiler alert. But I think that he was heading to Castle Omond, which is near Exeter. So I think that there's somebody in Exeter who has seen Tace. All right. Let's put in a bullet point. Possible people that Tace would have spoken with. Tace was needing magical supplies. So we have an herbalist. We have an herbalist. We have a carpenter. And we have a blacksmith. All of whom saw Tace. The herbalist, I've got a random name generator that I use imported into Fantasy Grounds, so I don't really worry about it ahead of time. Exeter is mainly human and polders, and I can generally use human names for them, so that will be just fine. Outside of Tace, you know what? It's over here. I care about formatting. I know it's wasting time right now, but that's okay. All right, so outside of Tace, let's see. I don't remember exactly what's going on. It's been a couple of weeks since the last session. They got a whole bunch of information in the last session. They did a lot of discover lore opportunities. Let's see. They're inevitably gonna go to a library. So places of learning. Well, let's just put it as discover lore opportunities. We have a library, private, so they may end up needing to do a quest to gain access. And for that, let's have it be, they need to go fight something. It's Draw Steel. It's a game about fighting things. So go fight a thing. Save some people. / animals. Let's make it animals. That sounds like more fun. And then after the library, we also have, there's a wizard. There's a wizard in Exeter, rival to Tace, which is why Tace would not have gone there. But this wizard knows something about both demons and cults. Cults, I don't know if we want to get into cults. And ritual magic. Might know something about cults, but that ties into another character's background. Maybe useful for Sigismund et al. Et al? Or is it et al? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've written a paper. Okay, so other opportunities in Exeter, things we want to know. There is not a king, but there is someone who calls himself the Duke. So let's put in information on the Duke. Or let's make it Duchess. That's more entertaining. But she's a hard ass. Duchess Malinor. Duchess Malinor. Let's call her Theodora Malinor. Nope, don't like Theodora. Let's call her Duchess Malinor. I'll come up with a first name later. How did that happen? Duchess Malinor. She's kind of a hardline, no room for errors type of ruler. Rules more from fear than from love. We're talking about Machiavellianism. Lastly, if she learns of the heroes, who each have a little bit of renown, specifically Arkazelavax, who is our party's Dragon Knight, Arkazelavax. Yeah, that's right. Then she will have them arrested, but only to make them see, or only to ensure that they understand her position in the city. She can't have heroes stirring up trouble. I think that's fair. These are troubling times. And I think that's enough on Exeter to start with. If they end up going to Exeter, then we are prepared. Lord Kenway, now for Dalrath. The party is going to want to look in his basement. So I need to know... I will generate a rough design. Generate's the wrong word. A contact to the basement. One of the members of the party just had amnesia and read or just decrypted a journal that he'd written before he got amnesia, and discovered that before he got amnesia, one of the last things he was doing was exploring Lord Kenway of Dalrath's basement, and had found, go figure, a box of similar make that held the item that another party member was holding at the time of the last session. So there's a strong chance that the party will want to explore his basement. We will want to know, like, the name of a footman, or the butler, or the maid. So let's go footman, Jeffries, that's always a good name. Butler. Well, let's flip it around. Butler's name is Maeve. No reason there can't be a female butler. She's a polder. That'll be cool. That kind of fits in with the lore. And then the maid or housekeeper maid is not Madrid. I've got the Delian tomb up on the side, so Dale is in mind, but we'll name her Dale like that. No, let's just use Brannigan. Why not? Riff off Delian tomb. Okay, anything else we need to know about Dalrath? The party's looking for some items for crafting. So again, we probably want to know something about the places that they can go for quests. Is there a quest board or a job board? Sure, why not? Job board. Let's put 2 jobs on it. There are some people. Someone lost in the Great Woad. There's someone lost in the Great Woad, and that's always a classic. And then mining expedition. Let's call it a research expedition. Needs guards. And this is the interesting one. Who is doing the research? This is someone. Let's have this be. This is a Memenek. Memenek researcher has recently crashed in Orden, trying to hide their identity and get home. So they are trying to go up the mountain, whatever the nearby mountain is. That's something I can look up and play. To find a rare ore that they had scanned from their ship. Okay, if they go anywhere other than Dalrath or Exeter, I'm probably in trouble, but that's okay. We have an encounter to throw at them if that happens. Just in case, let's jump back to Stall and make another encounter. And this is my way of Orcs attack. But they're war dogs. The lack of capitalization bothered me. We don't need this to be a very big thing, but let's go ahead and put in a level 4 with 2 victories. We want 5, 6. Okay. Buy me some time. Awesome. We're gonna have 3, 4, 5 initiative groups. We want to go to War Dogs, and we want to, let's see, why are the War Dogs not showing up? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me just scroll and see if I can get to the War Dogs. They're here. Do they? Okay. Fine. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. 4 to 6. Horde, and then we can scroll down to the War Dog section. Active Group 1. Horde Artillery. Let's add a couple of Arachnites, and then we want some minions in a group. So let's have an Arachnite in both groups. War Dog Arachnites. Jump to minions. In the first group, we're going to do Spark Slingers. Nope. And the second group, we're going to do Spark Slingers. The third group, we're going to have Sweepers. Fourth group, we're going to have Sweepers. And then we can go back to Horde. Sure, I can leave Horde up as well. And then we can see all of them. Horde Controller, that could be interesting. What do the Horde Controllers do? They're nasty. Oh, yes, they're nasty. Target dies. Huh. Oh. Okay. Never mind, I get it. they're targeting an ally, and the ally dies. So I don't know. That's going to take me a minute to wrap my head around. Let's do the Tormenites there, and 2 Tormenites there. And group 5, we want to do the Wardock, and we want to do an ambusher and a couple of ambushers. Let's add one more initiative group. And we can do a Mistravite, a couple of Mistravites. Standard encounter. Sounds good. I think we're good to go. And just like that, it's been almost 20 minutes. Actually running a little less on time because I don't actually have a half an hour. So the game is here shortly. I think we've got everything we need. Some notes on Dalrath and Exeter, a couple of combat encounters. I can kind of run those on the fly. Again, easy enough to drag these into Fantasy Grounds and just kind of play with it. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you to kind of see a way that you can make a session in Drawsteel with very limited warning, especially using some of the tools that are available in the community. I hope you've all enjoyed. And if you have any questions about things like this, or if you want to see more examples, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see. In the meantime, keep rolling.